California, rapper A$AP Rocky declines a plea deal on the eve of the start of his trial. The rapper, whose real name is Rakim Mayers, is charged with 2 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm. The deal would have sent him to jail for 180 days, but he now faces up to 24 years in prison if he's convicted by a jury.
In and of itself does not mean that your client is guilty. That's the way we're going to deal with this, and that's the final ruling. I don't want to hear anything more about it. That's the end of the issue for now. Are both sides ready for the jury to convict?
A P. Rocky is currently on trial, and the drama surrounding the case is off the charts. Word on the street is that Rihanna is feeling the weight of it all, worried that her partner and father of her children could be facing over 20 years behind bars. The trial has already turned into a spectacle, from the judge allegedly flirting with Rocky's mom to unexpected bombshells being dropped in court. Meanwhile, Rocky's legal team has been making bold moves that have left the prosecution scrambling. In a surprising twist, the prosecution offered Rocky a plea deal. He would plead guilty to a single count of felony assault, receive a suspended sentence, take anger management classes, and complete community service. However, Rocky rejected the offer, a decision that has divided public opinion. Some believe he was foolish to turn down what they're calling a sweetheart deal, while others argue that the plea makes no sense if he's truly innocent. Comparisons to Tory Lanez's case have also surfaced, with people questioning if Rocky could face a similar fate. But just how bad are the odds for him? And where does Rihanna fit into all of this? For those who need a recap, A$AP Rocky is accused of allegedly firing a gun at his former friend and fellow A$AP mob member, A$AP Relly. The case is unfolding with intense courtroom drama, and the stakes couldn't be higher. You'd think this case would be simple. Either A$AP Rocky did it or he didn't. Case closed. But instead, it's unraveling like a plot straight out of a soap opera, full of unexpected twists and turns. Many people online argue that this case shouldn't even exist in the first place. It all stems from a falling out between A$AP Rocky and A$AP Relly, reportedly over funeral expenses for a late A$AP mob member. For context, before A$AP Rocky became the global star we know today, he was a part of the ACKP mob, a Harlem-based collective of rappers, producers, directors, and fashion designers that formed in 2006. Members of the crew adopted the $1 ASP prefix in their names, including $1 ASP Ferg, $1 ASP 12, and $1 ASP Relly. Since Rocky became the most famous and arguably the wealthiest of the group, there was an unspoken expectation that he would take care of certain responsibilities for his crew. In 2021, when one of their members passed away, many believed Rocky would cover some or all of the funeral costs. However, Relly felt Rocky had turned his back on the group by not paying up. This led to a heated confrontation between the two, which escalated near the Hollywood Walk of Fame. At some point during the argument, Rocky allegedly pulled out a firearm and aimed it in Relly's direction. Surveillance footage captures part of the altercation, showing the two men getting physical before someone steps in to break it up. The video also appears to show Rocky reaching for a weapon, but crucially, it also shows him putting it away. According to AAP Relly, the altercation didn't end there. He claims that after their initial scuffle, Rocky pulled out the gun again and allegedly fired at him, grazing his knuckles with a bullet. Relly says he eventually sought medical attention, but only after flying back to Los Angeles. Here's where things get questionable. Reports indicate that Relly didn't go to the police until days after the incident. If someone gets shot at and injured, the logical next steps would be to seek immediate medical help and report it to authorities. But waiting several days to do both? That raises eyebrows. Rocky's legal team is using this delay to cast doubt on Relly's claims, arguing that it's proof Rocky didn't do what he's being accused of. Adding to the uncertainty, the best available footage of the incident is low quality and doesn't capture the full confrontation, making it difficult to determine exactly what happened that night. The case against AAP Rocky has become a whirlwind of controversy, with both the prosecution and defense relying heavily on witness testimonies. However, the prosecution's key witness, AAP Relly, has struggled to convince the public, with many of Rocky's fans branding him as a jealous former friend and even a snitch for taking their dispute to the police instead of handling it privately. Rocky's lawyer, Joe Tacopina, reinforced this narrative in his opening statement, calling the case a clear attempt at extortion fueled by jealousy, greed, and lies. Adding to the controversy is the jury selection, which consists of 7 women and 5 men, yet not a single black juror, sparking outrage given that both Rocky and Relly are black and the trial is taking place in Los Angeles. Even Reverend Al Sharpton has criticized the lack of racial representation, calling it a potential threat to Rocky's right to a fair trial. Meanwhile, the police investigation has also come under scrutiny, as officers initially found no evidence of a shooting, no shell casings, no bullet fragments, yet Relly later returned to the scene and mysteriously discovered shell casings himself, which he then handed over to police. Perhaps the biggest twist came when Rocky rejected a plea deal that would have required him to plead guilty to 1 felony charge in exchange for a 6-month jail term, a 7-year suspended sentence, probation, community service, and anger management classes. With Rocky facing up to 24 years in prison if convicted, his decision to fight the charges has left the public divided. Some believe he's taking a huge risk, while others see it as proof of his innocence.
Hey, so are you a little nervous about the trial? How are you feeling about the jury selection today?
Our cameras caught ASAP Rocky this morning headed into and leaving an LA court as jury selection began in his felony trial. The 36-year-old, who faces 24 years in prison if convicted, has pleaded not guilty, and today he rejected a plea deal offer of 180 days in jail, saying, quote, "I respectfully decline."
You concerned about rejecting the plea deal?
AAP Rocky's decision to reject the plea deal, 180 days in jail, a suspended sentence, probation, community service, and anger management, has sparked intense debate. Some believe he should have taken it, as it would have spared him from serving actual jail time unless he violated probation, which seems like a safer bet compared to facing up to 24 years if convicted. However, others argue that taking the deal would have effectively ended his career, with a source telling TMZ that it would cost him endorsement deals with Gucci and Puma, prevent him from attending high-profile events like the Met Gala, and ultimately stop him from touring, putting his entire livelihood at risk. The plea would also leave a felony conviction on his record, so if there's even a chance of walking away with no jail time or criminal charges, fighting the case in court makes sense. Adding to the drama, Rocky's defense team has introduced a major twist, claiming there wasn't even a real firearm involved, just a prop gun. His lawyer, Joe Tacopina, told the jury that Rocky fired a starter pistol, a non-lethal device used for noise, to scare off Adap Relly after a previous attack and a stalking incident. However, the prosecution countered by presenting a 911 call from a witness and displaying a photo of what they claim was the actual weapon used, a 9mm semi-automatic pistol. Despite police finding several registered firearms in Rocky's home after his arrest, the alleged 9mm was never recovered, raising questions about its origin. The prosecution then blindsided Rocky's defense team with a surprise ballistics report supposedly proving he fired a gun at Relly, prompting his lawyers to argue they needed time to review the evidence. In response, the judge ruled that Rocky's team had just 1 day to secure an expert for analysis, making it clear that this revelation would not delay the trial. With mounting uncertainties, some fans are now comparing Rocky's case to Tory Lanez's, who was sentenced to 10 years for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. While both cases involve high-profile rappers accused of gun-related crimes, the differences are stark. Tory's case had solid evidence, a famous victim, and a failed smear campaign that turned public opinion against him, while Rocky enjoys favorable media coverage, a strong PR image, and a billionaire superstar wife in Rihanna. Even the judge appears to be somewhat charmed, despite claiming Rocky wouldn't receive special treatment, as he was openly flirting with the rapper's mother in court.
The judge thinks your mom is gorgeous. She is.
Rihanna is reportedly struggling with the stress of 8AAP Rocky's trial, despite the couple maintaining a brave front. Sources say she's been feeling the weight of the case since the beginning, especially during her pregnancy in 2022. While returning from a vacation in Barbados, she and Rocky were ambushed at the airport by LA police, who arrested him in connection with the case. This incident caused significant anxiety for Rihanna, and she even experienced panic attacks, fearing that the stress could lead to early labor. Thankfully, that didn't happen, but now, juggling the trial while managing her career and raising their children, she's under immense pressure. With cameras allowed in the courtroom, every moment of this already messy case is being broadcast to the public, adding even more stress to the situation. What are your thoughts on Rocky's trial? Do you think he's being set up? Share your opinions in the comments and stay tuned for the next video.